then don't forget to share this live broadcast. And if you are just joining in, don't forget to drop your questions in the comment box. Yeah, I promised to have this live broadcast because of a lot of pressure from you guys, a lot of questions that were asked me in the question box. I was unable to answer those questions one by one. Some people also reached me to my WhatsApp number. I was unable to answer their questions. I'm very, very sorry about that. It is because of you guys that I came on live today. So I want to spend just maximum of 15 minutes on this live broadcast. If I were able to touch what I need to do, 10 minutes is okay for me. Uh, 15 minutes, I'm done with live broadcast. So I want to begin with question number one. The alternative this time. Question one is always mechanics. Question three is always electricity. And question number two is either optics or thermodynamics. So question one this year is optics. And this optics is a refraction of light through by convex lens. I keep telling us that I have gone ahead of time. Having taught physics for many years, I know those areas examiners always love to set questions. And I have made all the videos on my channel in line with those areas. You guys love stressing people. I will make a video and I will tell you, click in the description box and you will see a link to this video. A lot of you will not click it. You come and you start asking other questions. I don't know, I take time to make free videos. I take time to go extra mile to make free videos for you guys. You watch and you refuse to pay attention. And then you come back to me in my WhatsApp page. You want me to re-explain again. I don't think that is possible. I have a lot of things to do. I can't spend my 100% time on YouTube. I also have other activities I do. So please, on question number one, optics, I have done all the videos on optics, the theory, the experiments. I always tell us guys that for you to be able to master any physics exam, any physics practical exam, you need to master the theory of the experiments. And so for the optics, I have done the theory, I have done the calculations, and I have done the experiments. So still click in the description box on this live broadcast that you are watching, and you will see all the videos on optics. In addition, what do you need to know about optics? In question number one, optics, and we are dealing with refraction of light through by convex lens. Examiners will definitely ask you questions under Snell's law. Examiners will definitely ask you questions under the theory of refraction of light, critical angles. These questions comes under BI and BII. They will ask you questions under, for instance, total internal reflection. They will ask you questions on critical angle. They will ask you questions under the calculative aspect of it. And most importantly, I keep telling students, my students in the school I teach, that it will take 0.1 mark can cause you not to have an A in physics. And there are 0.1 mark in 10 marks. So there are some little mistakes that you guys do and you don't get the grade that you are looking for. And every video I do is just to make you stay away from making those mistakes so that you get your full marks. So please, every video you see on my channel, watch it line by line, watch it with pen and paper, and you are going to get all the results that you are looking for. So under the precautions, guys, just 2 marks. Examiners will ask you to state precautions, and in that experiment, you'll be making use of a meter rule to measure. So you're gonna state error. I avoided error due to parallax while taking reading on the meter rule by looking down straight. I have done all of those videos. Go through them. And number two is that for you to take your readings, the image must be sharp on the screen. Yes, the image must be sharp on the screen before you take your reading. So you state, I ensure that there was a sharp image casted on the screen before I took my readings. These are two main precautions. Sometimes you may lack apparatus and you may run the experiment as a group in your school. So you don't state using group words like we avoided error. No, you say I and then you use past tense. For the graphs, please go through all my videos. So I'm done with question number one. If you have your questions, still drop them in the comment box. So one more thing on question number one, which is optics. A lot of people were asking me how to manipulate the values. It takes students who are very, very smart to manipulate values in experiments. If you understand your equations very, very well, for instance, one of the major things that you need to do in this experiment is to find the focal length of the lens that you are using. Immediately you are able to find the focal length of the lens that you are using, then you can apply 1 over f equals to 1 over v plus 1 over u, and also magnification m is equals to v all over u, and then you manipulate and get your table of values. One of the things that examiners will be asking you to, the value they'll give you the object distance u, maybe 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then 80. And then you have to manipulate and know how to go about it. But the first thing that you must know, you must find out for in the experiment is the focal length of the lens. Sometimes those guys selling this stuff in the market will tell you the focal length of the lens is 15 cm, but the focal length will be carrying a wrong level. So I made a video on how to teach us how to go about to find the focal length of the lens. So the moment you get the focal length of the lens, that is a constant for a particular lens, then you can go ahead to manipulate your table of values, and then we call it outsmarting the experiment. Now let's look at question number 2, electricity. A lot of people were asking me, can we manipulate the values? Yes, I still repeat, manipulating your table of values in case that you are a smart guy, you are a smart student. It takes people who are smart to do that. You don't understand your equations, you can't go about manipulating the values. Now in this experiment, there is something you need to know before you manipulate your electricity. And that thing is knowing the internal resistance of the cell. Somebody asked me a question today this morning, what are the internal resistance of the cells? I laughed. I said, this guy is a smart guy. The moment you know the internal resistance of the cell, then you are good to go. And then another thing there is that the value of the standard resistor you use, very, very important. The experiment I made on electricity, the standard resistor I used was 2.00 ohm. And I tried to figure out the value of internal resistance of the cell, although other factors were also involved. The resistance in the wires that were connecting the circuits also could add up to it. But for the Tiger head battery, let me just get one for the Tiger head battery. I don't know if it is possible for you to find the internal resistance of this guy. Yeah, this is the guy I'm talking about. Manipulating your table of values, you need to find the internal resistance of this guy. And I'm not going to go to the board right now to give us an equation on how to manipulate our table of values. Stay tuned and watch the very end. Now, recall that from the equation E is equals to, from the equation, let me write it so that I can see it very well. From the equation the EMF in the cell is equal to the terminal potential difference plus the loss voltage. The capital V, the terminal potential difference, and small v, the loss voltage, and E, the total EMF in the cell. Call this equation number 1. This equation is very, very important. Now, the experiment in current electricity, you are going to vary your DC source, and this is the DC source you are going to vary. Click in the description box on this live broadcast you are watching and you see the full video. You put 1.5 volts plus 1.5, that is 3, 4.5, in that order until you run for like 5 times. Now, from this experiment, from this equation, you know from Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. Call it equation number 2. The experiment in current electricity, you are going to verify Ohm's law. That is, increase in the voltage will cause the current to increase, while the resistor or the value of the resistance R is constant. Good. Now, because you're going to have a series connection, the current that will flow through this guy is the same current that will flow through this guy. So you write that your E is equal to IR plus I small r. Call it equation number 3. I is common, and so you factor I out. R plus small r, and then your E is equal to that. So we're going to make I the subject formula. So you write that your I is equal to E all over R plus small r. So this is the equation you are going to use to manipulate this current electricity experiments. So call this equation number 4. Now, in the video I did, your E is this guy I'm holding in my hand. So the first value, you have your I1. Don't forget your table of. Sorry, I'm having some little internet connection problems here. I wanted to confirm if what I'm writing on the board is appearing on the screen. So please stay tuned. Good, let's proceed. So your table of values is going to look like this. Serial number. You have your E slash volts. You have your volts, that's the value of the voltmeter reading. Your V here stands for the voltmeter reading, while your E here stands for this. And this is your E here. And then in volts, then you have your ammeter reading I slash amps. And then you have your V inverse slash V inverse. You have your I inverse slash A inverse. So this is your table of values, your composite parameters. So on top here is the value for your internal resistance. I mean your external resistance, the standard 0.000 ohm. That is what I did. And here you're going to start with 1.5 volts. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You run it 5 times. But I tried to go on the internet to find the standard value for the internal resistance of this guy. I was unable to do that. So what you must do that you must run the first experiment full. And then when you are done, you use this equation to find the value of the internal resistance R for each cell. Since the cells are of the same EMF, 1.5 volts, they are going to have the same value for the internal resistance. So from here, our R is, so for the I1 column, you use this equation. I1 is equal to E1 divided by R, which is 2. The value for the internal resistor, maybe it is a 4 ohm. You now write 4. You see that? The value for E1 Okay, let's write this is R brackets 4. Yes, this is the equation that you're going to use. Call it equation number 5. We want to assume that the value for the internal resistance is 4. So you plug in this. So let's solve your I1, which is what you're looking for. I1 is equal to E1 is what? 1.5. Record 1.50. So you record 1.50 divided by 2 times R. So your R in this case, let's say that your R is 1. This 4 here stands for the value for each internal resistor. So for R equals to 1 cell, just write 1 times 4. 1 times 4. You evaluate, and whatever you get, you put the answer here. When the cells are 2, that is 3.50. Your R is now what? 2R. Your R is now what? 2R. So what do? You come back here and you write 2 plus 2 into what? 4. You evaluate and then you put your answer. For the voltage, for this column, which equation are you going to use? You are going to use this. So for yours, just like V1 is equal to I1R. So for V2 equals to I2R. So the value, the answer you got here, you're going to put it here, and then the value for R is 2. You evaluate and then you put your answer, and then you find your R inverse. So this is how to go about manipulating the current electricity table. You have to know the value of your, internal resistance. So once you know that, you are good to go. Next up, I want to comment on the precautions for the experiment. Since you are dealing with Ohm's law, examiners will ask you to state Ohm's law. They may ask you to state Ohm's law. They may ask you to do some calculations on a circuit diagram, and they will ask you maybe to draw a circuit. And of course, they will ask you to state some, that is under BI and the BII. They will ask you to state precautions. You use the ammeter and then the voltmeter. How will you state the precaution? I avoided error due to parallax while taking reading on the ammeter and on the voltmeter by looking down vertically straight down. You also made use of connecting wires. So you state, I ensured tight connection of the wires, and you are good to go about the precautions. Last but not least is the mechanics experiments. For the mechanics experiments, before immediately I'm done with this live broadcast, you're gonna see a video on mechanics experiment. It is called bifilar experiment. The examiners try to ask us to provide some stuff here which I will not want to mention publicly, that is highly confidential. But based on what they have done, their experiments relate with Waec 2021 Physics 3 experiment. But there's going to be a little deviation because they asked of something that Waec 2021 did not ask. And I'm going to make that video and you guys will watch it, and you guys will get your straight A's. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to those that need it. Don't forget to subscribe and to support Physics with Ben in your own little way, and God will bless you. Thank you for watching, and if you have any other concern, you can drop your questions in the comment box. To this, we have come to the end of this live broadcast. Thank you, and God bless you. Remember, don't cheat. Read your books. Watch all the videos. There are other YouTubers that have done some stuff that are better than what I have done. Don't just watch my channel. Watch other channels as well. See what other YouTubers have done. Add to my own, and then you get a full, complete knowledge. Don't cheat. Write your exams with your brains, and God will bless you. I check out. Bye-bye.